Yo, yo,
Hey,
young baby Tate, what's going on?
how are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. The sun is shining, so I'm smiling. How about yourself?
Amen. Same.
Word, word up. Well, all right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, I got to start by saying happy belated. I know you just recently celebrated a birthday. What'd you
Thank.
do to celebrate?
I went to Jamaica with my friends and my
Oh,
manager.
fire.
Um, yeah, we had a girls trip and it was super fun. Like I enjoy myself.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, I haven't been to Jamaica yet, but I've heard nothing but good things. So,
Yeah, you should go. You should go. I want to go back. Like I went to Montego Bay, but I want to go back and maybe go to like different parts of the island, maybe like Ocho Rios or other places just to explore more of the actual country. Like it's just so beautiful.
yeah, nah, for sure. You got a favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part of the trip was definitely the excursion that we went on. We did like um what do we do? River tubing. I did like a rope swing into the river. We did
Yeah,
horseback riding in the ocean. We
in
did
the
dune
ocean.
in the ocean, and we did
What?
and the zip lining was just so much fun. Like I want to zip line every day of my life now.
Yeah, then you was living your best life for real. Can
I
never
really.
knock that. Word up, rightfully so. All right, let's jump into the music a little bit. Tell me how you got your start.
I got my start, very early on in my life. I was always making music. I went to performing arts like elementary, middle, and high school, and I started making music when I was about 13. So
Mm.
I started putting music out when I was maybe like 19 or so. And I was just putting music out through SoundCloud. And then I started putting music out through TuneCore. And yeah, I just kept building my audience up. And yeah, that's kind of how everything started up.
Yeah, for sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, but your mom is a musician, right?
Yes, my mom is a musician. You are not wrong.
Dope, dope. Did she put you on the game?
She definitely did. Like my mom is my biggest ally, my biggest supporter. Oh my gosh, this ring light keeps trying to attack me. I'm sorry.
It's all
But
good. They be like that.
she definitely put me on game and taught me a lot about, the things that she went through, the things that she didn't want me to have to go through. So yeah, my mom definitely was always like, let me put you on game, my real OG.
Yeah, for sure. I know you rep that zone six. So talk to me and describe to the people what it's like growing up on the east side of Atlanta.
I'm from the east side. I'm from Decatur, and
Right.
the east side is like I would say it's the best side. Somebody else that's from Atlanta might say something else, but
Of
I think
course.
the side is the best side because it's like the perfect mix of like it's ratchet, it's hood, but it's like there's also art and like creativity and you can be yourself there and it's like I don't have to worry really too much about like walking outside and getting shot at like but if you're not doing the right things you might, but at the
Of
same
course.
time always a place where I felt safe, um and I felt surrounded by people that were like me and that understood me.
Mm, okay. So since you're from Atlanta, I gotta ask you, lemon pepper, wet or dry? What's the
Wet.
superior choice? Okay,
Wet.
all right. We here, we here.
Not wet, like take that shit back and put some of the juice on there because I need
Yeah,
it wet. You can't give it to them dry
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Be scratching your throat and all that. You gonna need that fruit punch for real. Word up. What were you like as a kid?
As a kid, I was I was pretty shy as a kid. I think I'm still kind of
Really?
shy. But I was very soft spoken, very sweet and polite. People were always very impressed by how well I could articulate myself and um how smart I was. But as a kid, I was an only child, so I grew up having to entertain myself a lot of times. And like, my childhood was very low-key boring, but I was entertained a lot of times by my own imagination.
Oh, that's dope. And I feel like, well, you tell me, but I would think that makes sense in terms of you just doing it all, being an artist, an engineer, producer. Like, sound like since you were as a kid, you always had your hands in multiple different things, talking about entertaining yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I had to, because who was going to do it for me? My
Yeah.
mom to do, and I didn't have any, siblings in the house. So I got into a lot of different things. That's really how I started to make um music. That's how I started to make beats. I didn't have like anything to do that summer,
Mm.
and um, I went on my mom's computer. She had GarageBand on her computer, and I just started like making beats. So like that was one of the things where it's like, I am an only child, I'm bored, and I have to entertain myself in some type of way.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Who are
hmm
some of the artists that you first fell in love with when it came to music?
Some of the artists I first fell in love with, TLC. I remember like these are the
Mm.
CDs that, like, my mom had, but I stole from her. Like, I had
Yeah.
Brandy, Moni Love. Those were some of my favorites. And then, like, getting a little older, when I got into like my teenagerdom, that's when I started to fall in love with Nicki Minaj. Rihanna was very, very big for me. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much, like, my main group of girls. I was always very drawn to women, and drawn to really creative and talented women. Gwen Stefani also was one, Missy
Okay.
Elliott.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Give me three artists that you can't live without.
three artists I can't live without. Okay. Nicki Minaj, Young Thug, Beyonce. I feel bad,
Okay.
but I feel like Rihanna should be in there, but
Hey, we can add her as an honorable mention, but why those three? Why those four?
Okay, well, Nicki Minaj, I don't think I would be the artist that I am. I don't think I would be the rapper that I am. I don't think I would express myself in the way that I do if I had never heard of Nicki Minaj, if Nicki Minaj didn't exist. Um,
Mm, straight like
Young
that.
Thug, I just love his creativity so much. A lot of the new ways that I like to create now are very inspired by Young Thug, and how creative he is, and how, like, he just does not care about anything. And I love that about him. I
Mm,
love how he has like no boundaries, and I want to,
fact.
be that same way. So I love Young Thug. Beyonce, I don't think I could live without Beyonce. I always say I'm extremely grateful that I was born in the time that I was, because I'm able to see Beyonce. Like,
Yes.
I was able to see Beyonce. Like, Beyonce is the perfect, she's just like the perfect artist. She is so perfect on stage, off stage, as a person, as an artist. And I just am extremely inspired by everything that she does. And as far as like my music goes, and how much I like to empower women, a lot of that inspiration comes from Beyonce. So, I couldn't live without her. And then Rihanna, I just like, that's my girl. Like, that's really my girl. Like, she just
Yeah.
within my heart. Like,
No, for sure. You think she's ever gonna drop that album?
I do. I feel like it's coming this year. I feel like it is. It's just something in my spirit that tells me like it's coming. She's
Yeah.
coming.
I hope so, because the fans is going crazy. She can't say or do anything without getting harassed. So
Look, I am not harassing her, but I am waiting patiently. I'm looking respectfully.
facts. That part for sure. And you talked about just Young Thug being careless and essentially just doing what he wants, saying what he wants, and it kind of reminded me of your pen. Obviously, you talk about so many different things in your music, and it's so unapologetic. So how did you establish that part of yourself? Like, has your music always been like that?
I think it has always been like that. When I first started making music, it was very boundless. It was very genreless. I never liked to be put inside of a box. I don't like to be the same as anybody. So a lot of times I'm drawn to artists who are like that as well, because they inspire me to be more like myself. You know what I'm saying? They inspire me to be
Uh,
more unapologetic about the things that I say, the way that I present myself, the music that I make. As long as I love it, as long as I really put my all into it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's what makes me feel good. So I think I've always been that way. When I first started making music, like I was making pop songs, I was making rock songs, I was making rap
oh
songs,
shit,
R&B songs, and this is when I was like 13 years old. So yeah, definitely, it's always been in me.
word up. And that just made me think of something else. Let's bring it back a little bit. I was watching an interview and you were saying how when you were younger, your mom kind of didn't want you to put music out. Why do you think that is?
My mom didn't want me to put music out when I was younger because honestly, I didn't understand anything about the music industry, and I think that she knew that.
Mm,
Well, of course she knew that, but I think she also didn't want to exploit me because of the fact that I was a child. She would have to have been the one taking me to these places, taking me to the studio, taking me to meetings, video shoots, and all these types of things. And because she went through her own career in being signed to a major and having number ones on Billboard.
no,
She saw the firsthand what that was like. And I think that she just didn't want to basically feed me to the wolves. So for her, it was like, number one, I need you to understand the business. And number two, if you really want to do this, you have to do it. Like, I'm not going to be the one taking you there. Like, if you want to do that, that has to be your decision, your conscious decision. Like, you know what's going on, and do it yourself.
yeah, for sure. I hear that. So let's fast forward. On that note, talk to me about how you linked up with Issa Rae and Raedio.
So Raedio, and Issa Rae specifically, are really great at curating soundtracks for Insecure, all of their other
Of
shows
course.
that they curate. And in 2019, the end of 2019, they were doing basically a writers camp for their soundtrack for the next season of Insecure, and I was invited to that. And I went and I made about like 6 songs. It was like a 2 day camp,
Hmm.
about 6 songs. And afterwards, the radio team was just very excited and impressed by my work ethic and the types of songs I was making, how quickly I was making them, and how talented I was. And they wanted to speak with me about, possibly signing with them and working with them and how they could help me to boost my career. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up meeting with Issa like maybe 2 weeks later after the camp, and it was like, yo, what can we do to help? Like, I just want to help you. We really fuck with your music, what you do, the energy that you bring to people, the energy that you give to people that listen to your music. So like, we just want to help, and that's how it really all came about.
Word, straight like that. Is there
Mhm.
anything about Issa Rae that the average person wouldn't know?
I don't know. I wouldn't know it either.
Word, word. Okay, no, that's straight. That's straight. I was just curious. Obviously people on camera can be completely different in real life. So I
Yeah,
just didn't know.
I don't
For
know.
sure. Word, no, it's all good. We ain't even gonna sulk on it. So let's get into your last project, After the Rain. Why did you title it that?
So I've always been a very colorful person. Like, if you see my nails, very
Yeah,
colorful. Um,
always.
I've always been a very colorful person, and I think that when I first started making music, I was very expressionate and didn't care about anything. And 2020 was very difficult for all of us. But for me specifically, I was in like a relationship that just wasn't the best for me creatively, that wasn't the best for me spiritually. And it started to weigh me down and started like, it started to like kind of gray me out.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so I started to just think about and reflect on what the relationship was, on what I had become, what I had allowed to, what I allowed myself to sit in. And I realized that I lost a bit of my color. And I don't know, it just came to me one day. It was like, you know what? This has really been a crazy journey and it's been like stormy, but you know what? After the rain, that rainbow is going to come back out again. So
Always.
it was kind of me just coming back into myself and reintroducing myself once again to the world with all of these beautiful colors. And yeah, so that's where the title came from, just me realizing that I had allowed, myself to kind of fall back into a place where I didn't need to be. Um, and this
Mm.
was like, you know what? The rain was there, but the sun is going to shine and the rainbow's going to come back out.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely like it's a extremely tough thing. What advice, if you have any, would you give to anybody who's struggling, with a breakup or maybe even having trouble getting out of a relationship? Because it's like that sometimes too.
Yeah. I would say trust yourself, trust your intuition. A lot of times when I was, on the verge of like, oh man, I want to break up, but I don't feel like I can. Like I really knew that I wasn't supposed to be in that relationship. So like trust yourself, be kind to yourself. Remember that you are a human, you know. A lot of times we are so hard on ourselves and it's not fair because the world is going to be hard on you. So why would
Yeah,
you be hard on your own self? You know what I'm saying? If
100%.
nobody is going to be kind to you, you got to be kind to yourself. You got to boost yourself back up, remind yourself of who you are, and don't let anybody um get that confused.
Yeah, real words right there. Y'all go ahead, write that down or revisit this video whenever in need. But for sure, I feel that. On the note of color, obviously everyone must know that you stay swaggy. The I am video, you had so many fire visuals in there. So I wanted to ask you, like, what was your favorite look from that entire shoot?
My favorite look from the I am video was definitely that blue crochet. Like
It's cold as hell.
it was very cold outside as well, but like that
Oh
outfit
wow.
was bomb as fuck. That robe, like everything, and it was all handmade. So I was just like, wow, this is beautiful. Like I love it.
Wow. Straight like that. And what made you recruit Flo Milli for that track? Y'all both killed it. Like perfect chemistry, I think.
Thank you. A lot of our fans overlap, and a lot of our fans have been saying for a long time, like, oh my gosh, y'all need to collab, like collab, collab, collab. I need y'all to collab. And
Mhm.
so when we were making After the Rain, at first I wasn't going to have any features on the project at all. But, we wanted to just be creative and be like, well, if we were hypothetically to have some features on the project, like who would fit well where? And as soon as I made I Am, I was like, you know who would go stupid on this, like crazy hard, like Flo Milli would just eat this up, like she would ride this track, like pause. But
I'm with you.
she killed it like I knew that she would. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One more track I want to ask the backstory on. Let It Rain with Black. That's that Zone 6, East Atlanta connection. Again, y'all both killed it. So how did that come together?
So Black, I have actually known Black since 2000, like 15. Like this was when I first dropped my first project ever, Roy G. Biv.
Yeah.
And I remember Black had tweeted it. He tweeted like the link to my project, and I was just like, oh, oh my gosh. And this was like in 2015, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And we ended up meeting shortly after that. And he's just always been like very supportive of me, really like a big brother to me. And I often say like Black is one of the realest niggas alive. Like he's
Mm.
just such a really great person. So when I made this song, like I said, we weren't going to have any features, but um, I was just trying to be creative, like, well, if I was, who would do it? And for this one, it was just like that really reflective, moody, but still vibey type of feel. And I was like, Black would sound amazing on it. I reached out to him and he was like, yeah, absolutely. Send it to me. Like, let's do it. And we were
Right.
supposed to shoot a video for it, but so many things ended up happening. I wish that we did shoot the video, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes. I feel you.
Yeah.
Another thing, like major thing that stands out to me is obviously the fact that you produce. So when it comes to production, do you usually make a song as you go, or do you like cook up packs for yourself and then go in the studio and run through a whole bunch of beats?
So I normally will just make beats as I go. I don't think I've ever just like made beats and like let them sit. When I honestly I haven't been making beats in a long time because I just got a new laptop. I don't have any of my old sounds on it. So like
Got you.
I've been working off of other people's beats a lot. But for myself, whenever I do make a beat, it's like I'm making a song to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like rarely have beats where I just like make it and put it to the side, or I make it and like do nothing with it. Normally it's like I made a beat and now I'm about to make a song.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. After the Rain Deluxe dropping on Friday, which track, if there are any, are you most excited for everyone to hear? They in the comments talking about it right now.
Okay, After the Rain Deluxe, I think the song I'm most excited for everyone to hear, I would say Confused, but I love all of the songs so, so much. Like this EP, this deluxe edition is very heavy on the R&B.
Dope.
So a lot of the songs I'm singing in, and I'm just really excited for people to hear all of them. Um, I can't really pick one, but like all of them are going to be great.
Yeah, nah, that's believable. We know you good for it, so say no more. All right, cool. Tate, that was all I have for you. Anything else you want to leave for the people?
For the people, since you're here, I'll give you a little piece of information that nobody else has yet. The Eeny Meeny
Oh,
video is gonna be dropping on Friday.
oh,
And I'm
okay,
super excited about that. So
okay.
stay tuned.
Word up, straight like that. All right, we're checking out. Tate, we appreciate you so much for checking in with us. But everybody, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Peace.
Bye.